providing us with an opportunity to give you some education about Simpro. We're not sure how much you know or have heard about Simpro, so we're going to give you the whole lot and try to walk through it very quickly. By way of introduction, my name's Alan Bignell. I'm the Chief Operating Officer and Chief Financial Officer of Simpro. Basically, I look after I oversee all the businesses that Simpro has around the world. And we've got them in 4 different countries, and each of those GMs report to me. I also have a finance function, so I've got a lot in common with you guys. With me today, I have Peter Darley, our General Manager of Australia. Peter was appointed midway through last year to run our Australian business. So between the two of us, we'll walk you through this presentation.
And can I add, I don't normally look that serious, as is on the slide.
Okay, a quick overview of Simpro. We've been around for a fairly long time. We were founded in 2002. We grew out of an electrical contracting business. Today we have 230 staff worldwide, and that is growing consistently. We provide cloud-based enterprise software for trade service companies, so electricians, plumbers, fire, security, that type of business. Since 2002, we've now servicing 4,400 business customers in 4 different countries, or managed by 4 different countries. Around the world, we actually have customers in about 27 different countries. Our software works for one person, or it works for multinational companies with thousands of employees. We have grown organically up until October 2016, when we raised some capital from a New York City investment group. I guess to summarize what we do, our software is great, but the quality of our service is a key differentiator from our competitors. So just looking at our customers, we have trade service companies, so people who do and charge work. So I imagine that some of you in our audience today have a similar charging methodology. You do work and then you charge for it. We also have customers who do project work, where they tender or quote for project work, and they do that and they get paid. Another key workflow of our customers is asset maintenance. So they have an asset maintenance contract that might be for air conditioning or any other type of asset. Quite often, all of our customers do each 3 of these workflows. Some of them only do one, but it's more common today that they do all 3. As I mentioned before, the verticals are plumbers, HVAC, building security, fire companies, plus other groups that have similar workflows to that. Typical customer has 4 office staff, 10 field technicians. As I mentioned before, Simpro is very scalable. We can cope with massive businesses as well as very small ones. Our customers get a lot out of Simpro. There's many features, but to narrow it down to a few real benefits, Simpro runs the whole of their business, and we link through to the back-end finance system. So we don't pretend to be a finance system. We do some finance-related transactions, but at the end of the day, we click through to the ledger system that the customer is using. I'll speak more about that later on. Simpro enables our customers to systemize their business properly. So instead of being reliant on any one person and having a real key person issue, we provide them with systemization, and that in turn provides transparency and consistency. Everything about that business can be seen through Simpro. The core of Simpro is built around job profitability. So how much money are our customers making on each job that they do? Whether it's a service job, a project, or asset maintenance contract, they want to know whether they're making profits after allowing for all their overheads on each job. The sum of those, of course, turns into how much money they've made each year. When our customers use Simpro to its full potential, they should get better margins on everything that they do, and then be able to grow by simply adding more technicians. We've seen that time and time again. The companies that use Simpro grow much stronger and larger than our competitors. Throughout this slide, we've just got a few slides on some of our customers and what they've said. I'm not going to repeat what they say, but we'll just leave it there for a moment to let you contemplate. These are real live customers. We haven't paid them. They're not actors. They're real people. Okay, when a customer signs up with Simpro, it's not just turn the software on and they start using it. There's a real implementation period. We use trained Simpro implementers to do what is most likely a 4 or 5 day implementation for each customer. With the larger ones, can roll out to months, but we're essentially taking what they've got and turning it, taking all the data and teaching them the processes that they need to use working with Simpro. We also offer a lot of help to our customers. So at any time they can phone us. There's chat built into the software. The chat's coming in all day, every day. They can email us, and we have a very substantial learning and development team where our customers can do courses to help them understand the software better. In reality, there's a 6-month learning process for new customers. It takes them 6 months to really see the benefits, but once they do, they fire ahead very quickly. We're very experienced after implementing 4,400 systems at helping the customers get through that first 6-month period. And we believe customer experience is our key to growing our business. We have face-to-face sales and implementation people, while most of our competitors around the world do not. We have customer support around the globe, 24/7, not quite 365, but we're getting very close to that, and we're increasing that capability all the time. We have Australian people answering Australian calls and chats during the Australian work hours, but if our customers in Australia are still working at midnight, they'll probably be answered by our UK team, and we flow that support all around the world continuously. We have a learning and development content production team of 8. That's substantial. They're always producing new material in the form of videos, courses, help guides to help our customers better use our software. And during the last 12 months, we've released all these L&D courses for our customers and staff, and they're taking them up very quickly. I'm going to hand over to Peter now, and he'll just run you through a précis of the features that we offer as part of Simpro.
So Simpro, as it is, after the 17 years of continually growing, is incredibly feature rich. Yeah. So basically all these features are designed to improve efficiency for the business, improve customer experience, and also to improve cash flow. So if you look at a typical customer and there's other features I'll go through in more detail. If you look at a typical customer of Simpro, they may start just with the capability of scheduling, scheduling technicians and having field connectivity. But quite quickly, they start experiencing that some of the features, such as catalogue imports of a range of different suppliers out there, through to seeing the real benefit of field connectivity, having technicians putting data in real time and getting real-time feedback in the field and getting better reporting. From the estimating side, so therefore there's no duplication of data and having data errors as well. So it's a full system. So, based with, when it's added with an accounting integration, it's an end-to-end system for our customers. So on the left-hand side, you'll see Connect, and this is our field. I call it our field tool. So it allows a whole bunch of features for the customer, including payment in the field, geo-stamping of when actions are actually done, from the job management, and also from customer sign-offs, and also forms like JHAs and things like that. E-forms, a fabulous way of developing your own forms within the system. So you can develop any type of form that you want, whether it be a maintenance master task list, or it could be a JHA. It could be a range of different forms that you can design and embed into Simpro. And on the right-hand side, Simtrack, where we're GPS tracking the fleet. What that gives you is absolute control. You can geo-fence your technicians. You have reporting on that, and you can place that into your maintenance planner and link Simtrack and Simpro. Other aspects from communication, such SMS, so your customers know when you're coming on site or leaving site, through to data feed. I look at one here of where you can automatically upload invoices, purchase orders, work orders, and things like that, and removes that data entry component. I'm looking down at VoIP now, so we do an integration with VoIP, which is really quite cool. So when that customer calls in, their job cards pop up automatically. You don't need to go into the job cards and find them and whatnot. Report Builder as well. We have 97 current reports in the system right now, but this is all customised and bespoke, and giving you the ability to have bespoke reports as well. From cash flow, and I guess you guys are keen on cash flow, is having on-site payments. Certainly payment over the phone, but where our customers get really excited is having on the job through Connect on-site payments as the customer signs off. Yep.
I might jump in here and talk a bit more about our latest release, which is the Report Builder. And Peter mentioned it there briefly. But we see this as the next level in giving our customers their information in the shape and form that they want. We're using a very open report generator, so our customers can drag and drop the fields that they want into a report, create reports and dashboards, so that they can have in front of them at any time the information that they need. Later on, I'll talk about how you guys as trusted advisors could possibly use this tool to help Simpro customers get better information from their business. As Peter said, we already have many standardized reports there, but this just gives you the next level of information. Peter also mentioned our financial integrations. Around the world, we deal with many financial packages. In Australia, MYOB, Xero, and QuickBooks are the main ones that we integrate with. So our part of our setup is taking the Simpro data and channeling it through to the various accounting packages so that the right information goes through. And you can do that in a number of levels. We can do it in a simplified level, or in particular with stock control, we can get everything going through to the accounting package. A lot of those integrations are two-way rather than one-way. So sometimes the accounting software is sending data back to Simpro. Another happy customer for you to quickly reflect. Okay, we're flying through here, but we'll have plenty of time for questions. I just wanted to highlight what we've seen over the years, and coming from an accounting background myself, there is an opportunity amongst Simpro customers for bookkeepers and accountants to really value add. When you look at trade service companies, and we see a lot of them, they're all born out of a technician who's done an apprenticeship, and they haven't got the greatest business acumen. They might have an advisor and we don't know how great they are, but there's a real opportunity for really good quality bookkeepers and accountants to add value to what are otherwise technical people. We have many trusted advisors around Australia and the rest of the world that help our customers, but our customers need a lot more support. A couple of key areas where bookkeepers and accountants can add value is Simpro, as I mentioned, is really based on job profitability. And that means, as you would all be aware, that it's not just the employee cost of doing the job, we get that pretty right, but it's continually adding an overhead recovery charge to the pricing that our customers are using. To do this, it needs to be updated on a regular basis, and we suggest to our customers that a quarterly review of the overhead charge rates would really help them to maintain their margins to suit their business. So that is a skill that most of our customers don't have internally. Some of them do, but most of them don't. And there's real value add that a bookkeeper or accountant can help our customers with. Another is report design. So every one of although our businesses that we have are very similar, they all think they're different. So they have all different ideas on what they want to know about. Is it revenue? Is it profitability? Is it stock management? What is their key driver? Or is it all of the above? So there's a real skill set that is required to get the most out of report design. And the other is parameterization. So setting alert notifications. Simpro has a very detailed notification system, alerting our customers of what's not working in their business, and that is controlled by the business itself. So there's a real opportunity for bookkeepers and accountants to come in and help a business understand what they need to be alerted about. It might be that jobs haven't been invoiced, or that invoices haven't been paid by customers. There might be an alert notification. Those alerts can be sent through to bookkeepers and accountants if they're working with our customers. So I guess what we're saying is that, and we've seen this particularly in the UK, that there's a real opportunity for accountants and bookkeepers to build sustainable revenue streams from working with Simpro customers, utilising Simpro as a base to build a customer base. Most trade service businesses have similar workflows. Yes, they all vary slightly, but once you know one workflow, you should be able to adapt to the others very easily. You don't have to relearn and relearn for every different type of customer. So specialisation in trade service businesses is a real opportunity. The other thing that we have seen over the years is that the businesses that use Simpro grow on average by 10% a year. We know that because they're paying us 10% more every year, year on year. And it's actually increasing as we go forward. So those guys that start out as one-man bands, their main drive is to build a team around them and grow that business. So if you can get in early with the smaller players, become their trusted advisor, you should see the opportunity from your perspective grow as well. And the last point I'd like to make on that is that tradies, once you're a trusted advisor, once they're happy with your software, they will tell everyone about it. They'll go to the pub at 4 o'clock on a Friday and beat their chest about how good everything's going. And it really is a word of mouth environment. So there is the opportunity that if you get out there and you build a business around Simpro and Simpro customers, that provided you deliver what they're after, that they'll help you find new business as well. Okay, one last little plug for Simpro. We've had a referral a platform or a partner platform for a long while now. We any solid referrals that anyone wants to send us, it's just a matter of going to our website and signing up as a referral partner and filling out the form. When we receive a referral, it goes straight to our sales team to go out and sign that referral up. If we sign it up, you get your reward, we get ours. Oh, that was quick. So I guess please fire your questions. We'd be very happy to hear them.
Yeah, great. Thanks, guys. So as usual, anyone with questions, just type them into the chat function in Zoom and I'll pass them on to the guys to answer for you. And just a reminder for everyone as well, we have recorded this session along with all other tech talks, so they'll be available on the website in case you missed any of today's session or anyone else you know in the community wants to check it out later as well.
What about if we've got a question for you guys? How many of you have heard of Simpro and how many actually have trade service customers?
Sure, we'll let everyone answer that. I've got a question for you as well in the meantime, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Karen's asked, she's actually joined late, so apologies if already covered, but what is the minimum size client this would be beneficial for in terms of cost versus savings, and what is the pricing model?
Well, we price based on users. So a license fee for every user. We're currently charging $129 per office user per month and $39 per mobile user per month. We have other pricing for some of those add-ons as well. Going back to the cost benefit analysis, as I mentioned, the sweet spot for us is generally 4 office workers and 10 in the field. That's our sort of median, particularly in Australia. It's much larger in the US and the UK. But having said that, a one-man band operation can still get a lot of benefit from using Simpro. And we've seen one-man bands turn into companies that have 50 plus employees. So it's the enablement. So while the price might seem high for a one-man band in comparison to some of our smaller competitors, Most of our smaller competitors, that one-man band won't be able to turn into a 50-plus employment company without moving to Simpro at some stage in the future. So it pays for itself going forward.
Awesome. Yeah, so it sounds quite scalable, which is always good. We've got another one, and I think you answered that earlier, but just to clarify, this is meant to work alongside the accounting software, isn't it?
It is. The way we view it is this is operational software. So this is going from lead generation all the way through to getting the job done. The invoicing is done in Simpro, but it passes through to the accounting system, as does a lot of the purchase orders and things like that. So it is very clean connection to the accounting back end.
Awesome. We've got another question here from John, who is interested to know if Simpro is suitable for commercial construction companies for estimating and project management.
We tend to steer clear of the actual builders, but some of them use our software for specific parts. We're not great for a whole construction organisation because there's way too much project management in that. Having said that, all the contractors that would quote for work on a building project, they're more the customers for us. They fit Simpro a lot better. We do have some particularly renovation type companies that use Simpro very successfully.
Great. So just to reiterate, what are some of the most common industries that you guys work with at the moment in Australia?
Yeah, sure. We call them our core verticals. So you're talking about electrical, HVAC, air conditioning, plumbing, data, solar as well. Those types of industries are our core verticals. But we have a number of non-core verticals as well. So, well, one I'm going to see tomorrow, elevator maintenance business, which fits it beautifully. Anything that, to collect it all into one, any company that's got a strong service focus will normally could be quite suitable. And even those companies that have a project base as well are always quite often suitable as well. Yeah. So our salespeople happily go through and advise the customer whether they're suitable or not. And so there's never that disappointment when the software is getting installed.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's really good to know. Okay, let's have a look. I think that might be the end of the questions for now, unless anyone's got anything else that they want to fire away. I've got one for you guys too. I think it's always useful to know, obviously you guys have the mobile option as well. What's the number one feature on the mobile side that people like to use with Simpro that you hear in feedback?
That's a difficult question, actually. It's a good one.
Thank you.
The technicians use the mobile app for managing their day-to-day work. So they will receive the jobs that they've been allocated for the day, and that could be one job or it could be many, and it will have all their requirements for that day. As they're going through each job, they're recording their time on the job, the materials that they're using, they're taking out of their van, or the materials that they're purchasing from a supplier along the way. If they're doing a do and charge job, they'll also be issuing the invoice by email and getting a sign off from the customer and collecting payment on the spot. So if they're managing assets like gas installations or something like that. There's a whole range of things that they're doing to report on the checks that they've done, where they've done them, whether the asset is working or needs some maintenance or repair done to it. So it's collecting the data that they need, that they would have otherwise written down in the past.
Yeah, perfect. So digitizing everything that would have been paper-based. Awesome. John's also just elaborated on his question, and that was in terms of that commercial construction companies for estimating and project management. Does the mobile app kind of integrate with payroll for timesheeting purposes?
It doesn't at the moment. We have a timesheet component to our mobile app, which is very good. It works, in truth, it works better for service type workflows at the moment. But part of our ongoing development, we'll see that working better for projects. Now, does it integrate with payroll apps? Not directly, because there's that many payroll apps out there that we find it difficult to maintain links to all of them. But there is a very easy import-export capability, and a lot of our customers use that for getting their payroll numbers.
Yeah, awesome. Perfect. Okay, cool. We might wrap it up soon, guys, but if you've got any other questions, feel free to send them through now for the guys and we'll get those answered.
Just one last thing before we move on. We're quite an innovative company. We have, as part of the funding we received, we've set up a research and development team to look at getting ahead of the curve. Like, our software's leading edge, we believe, at the moment anyway, but we're always looking to do better and break new ground. And we've had a reputation for doing that in the past. So over the last 2 years, we've had a team working that works off-site. They're in a separate geeky lab in Fortitude Valley in Brisbane, where we give them some projects and we allow them some free rein to come up with innovation in our space. A couple of notable things that have come from that. One is the data feed capability that Peter mentioned, and that basically can take any document that is sent through an email or other channel, and once it's mapped to a channel in Simpro, we can set up the automation of applying that document. So think work orders, think invoices, purchase orders, a whole range of things that we've automated there. And that's just going to keep getting better and better. But the big thing that we announced late last year was a move into the IoT space. So Internet of Things has been spoken about for years, and you can see a lot of manufacturers bringing it out in their products. Basically, it's a sensor system to alert when things aren't working or they're getting out of shape. Now, that's all great, and we've seen plenty of suppliers with dashboards that tell you when things aren't working, but it doesn't go the next step. And the next step is to create action out of the problem that's occurring, to get something fixed quickly. And Simpro's solved that puzzle. We now have an IoT implementation where we can put sensors into, for example, an air conditioning system or environment that checks temperature, humidity, even the shaking of the air conditioning machine, to work on with a set of parameters that will alert a technician to go to site if they need to. So up until this point, a technician would have had to go to an airport to check the air conditioning facilities to make sure that everything's right, and 99% of the time it would be right. So you've got this very valuable, very highly trained technician going to site, getting paid for going to site, and all they're doing is ticking a box to say that everything's okay. What IoT means is that when the system isn't working properly, that technician will be notified directly and will go to site or will sort the problem out remotely. So it changes the business model in which contractors will operate in the future. The asset maintenance sector will eventually all move to this model.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, the one thing that Simpro does differently is that the hardware that we use is able to be retrofit to assets that don't have inbuilt sensing capabilities. So most of the other market is looking at, you have to buy new equipment to work with it. With Simpro, we can work with most current air conditioning models using that example.
Great, very innovative, love it. Awesome. Well, we really appreciate you guys joining us today and sharing your knowledge and insight with Simpro. Can we just confirm the best contact area for anyone who wants to find out more about Simpro or perhaps joining the program? Where best could we direct those people again?
Okay, on the presentation, if you simply want to become a referrer, we have the web address on that presentation. So just go in, fill out the form, sign up. And I'd suggest that anyone who wants a bit more information, you have Peter's email address, and I think he can be the first point of contact initially, and he will direct any traffic that comes through to the appropriate people.
I'll put you in touch with the right people.
Yeah.
Cool. And just to confirm, so that's the peter.daly@simpro.co, is that the one?
Yes.
Awesome. I'll just pop that into the chat for everyone in case they want to reach out. Great. And once again, guys, this was recorded, so you can refer back to any part of today's presentation online once we upload in the next couple of days. Thanks again, guys, for coming along from Simpro. Really appreciate your time, Peter and Alan. And thanks everyone else for joining. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.